Gorontalo juga hadir, Semarang. Bisa chat Pak Ilham posisi ada di mana, biar teman-teman tahu.
Ini kebetulan posisi masih di pos nih Pak, di rumah.
Oke, rumahnya di mana? Rumahnya kan banyak Bapak.
Itu backgroundnya pinjaman tuh Pak, jembatan itu.
Oke, ini ada dari Banda Aceh, dari Semarang.
All the dam units of all provinces of Indonesia are joining on.
There's some people from the city, from what bank?
From World Bank also.
Oh, nice. Wow. Good. Good. Sorry.
Silakan Bapak Ibu sekalian bisa chat posisi Bapak Ibu sekalian. Tadi Pak Ilham ada di Jakarta, ada di Banda Aceh.
We look at civil inspection first.
The material from your side.
Gorontalo, alhamdulillah, Semarang, Bandung. Ada dari Malang, Samarinda.
What do you mean?
The presentation which I sent to you.
This is a member of DJCK Commission. Selamat pagi, Bu Nuni dari Malang, dari Surabaya, dari Padang. Alhamdulillah ini seluruh Indonesia. Ada juga dari Jerman, dari Malaysia,
Dari Sumatera.
dari Padang. Saya ingin tahu yang terjauh dari Jakarta mana ya?
Send it to me via email. Yeah, I'm sending it out to both of you. You got the internet already?
Bapak Ibu sekalian, saya ingin tahu selain dari Padang, Surabaya,
Got the internet?
NTB, NTT, ada lagi? Bisa lewat chat. Alhamdulillah ini ada dari Balikpapan, dari IKN, Bu Yanti. Silakan Bapak Ibu sekalian, kita sambil menunggu kesiapan narasumber serta lainnya.
Then Borneo is there.
Pak John Panto, ini ada dari Jayapura, kayaknya terjauh ini.
Aku also. Already? To you also? Yeah.
Selamat pagi, Bapak-Bapak, Ibu-Ibu sekalian. Salam sehat untuk kita semua. Pak Panto.
Pak Raymond ya?
Iya, terhubung Pak Joko.
Alhamdulillah.
Iya, saya standby, Pak. Salam kenal untuk peserta webinar lainnya.
Selamat pagi Pak Raymond, Pak Ilham.
Selamat pagi Pak Ilham. Long time no see Pak, sehat-sehat ya?
Iya, alhamdulillah, sama-sama ya.
Ya, syukurlah Pak, sama-sama.
Alhamdulillah.
Pak Raymond posisi di mana Pak? Bisa chat Pak?
Oke, saya posisi di Malang ini, Pak.
Ya, karena ini sudah banyak peserta dari Padang, Balikpapan, Jayapura. Saya ingin tahu Bapak posisi pas di mana?
Masih di Malang, Pak, untuk hari ini.
Oke, ya.
Oke. Ada Mas Oki Aris, ini senior saya juga di teknik pengairan. Selamat pagi, Mas Oki.
Terima kasih Pak Remon, salam sehat dari Malang. Mas Randy.
Selamat pagi Pak Joko, selamat pagi Pak Remon, Pak Ilham, Pak Jan Pantau, selamat pagi.
Pagi, Pak Randy. Salam sehat, Bapak.
Salam sehat selalu Bapak untuk kita semua.
Pagi Mas Randy.
Pagi Pak Ilham.
Siap. Aman ya, sehat ya?
Alhamdulillah Pak, sehat-sehat selalu Pak, insya Allah Pak.
Iya, alhamdulillah. Soalnya masih ada juga katanya yang positif itu.
Betul Pak.
Kita tunggu ya Bapak Ibu sekalian, masih ada kendala untuk menambah peserta. Ini udah maksimal. Bapak Ibu sekalian, tunggu sebentar ya. Ini masih ada kendala teknis. Tunggu dulu ya, Bapak Ibu sekalian. Sebentar, masih ada kendala teknis.
Iya, Pak Joko, ditunggu. Pak Joko.
create a chaos. Some will go, some will not go, some will drop. So you can post because other people who could not join before, they can try again to join. Yeah.
Ya. Pak Hari Sungguh sudah hadir.
Oh iya, yang aku udah lebih. Apa? Tadi di podcast lagi. Sebentar ya, Pak.
Hari sudah siap.
Pak Hari sudah siap. Pak Hari sudah hadir. Pak Hari sungguh.
Sudah masuk.
Jadi kecilin Mas.
Saya telepon.
Ini layarnya. Bapak sekalian, sambil menunggu Pak Hari, ada satu stiker. Bisa chat posisi Bapak Ibu sekalian. Sekali lagi, alhamdulillah kita bisa upgrade menjadi 1.000 peserta nanti yang akan hadir. Silakan.
Ya, lagi mau masuk.
Oke, ada dari Sulsel.
Use that mind.
Pak Irfan, selamat datang.
Selamat pagi Pak, sudah masuk oke?
Oke, Pak John, kita mulai ya. Bapak sekalian, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat pagi.
Pagi.
Selamat pagi semua Pak John.
Oke, pagi Pak Hari.
Selamat pagi.
Alhamdulillah Bapak sekalian, acara internasional webinar KNWB tanggal 11 Mei sudah bisa kita mulai, dan ini narasumber sudah ada nun jauh di sana, ada yang di Malang dan juga ada di Purwakarta, dan juga ada Pak John Panto bersama tim, ada Mr. Lawrence, sorry by bahasa Pak, dan ada Pak Abisek, mohon maaf kita by bahasa. Alhamdulillah pada kesempatan hari ini ada beberapa agenda. Tadi nanti ada narasumber, ada pembahas. Bapak sekalian, untuk mempersingkat waktu, kami persilahkan ada short speech dari Komite Nasional Indonesia Bendungan Besar yang akan diwakili oleh Pak John Panto. Alhamdulillah Pak John Panto sudah berada bersama kami di Balai Teknik Bendungan. Silakan Pak John Panto bisa untuk short speech KNIBB. Dan juga ini ada Mr. Andreas bersama kami. Kita kasih tepuk tangan dulu buat Pak John Panto. Silakan Pak John Panto.
Terima kasih, selamat pagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, semua teman-teman dari Ingapul dan juga dari Chairman is from Void, tim Void. Saya rasa hari ini kita sangat berbahagia bisa berkumpul bersama lagi. Sebelumnya saya mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Idul Fitri, maaf lahir batin karena masih acaranya. Hari ini kita KNIBB mengadakan suatu seminar yang sangat singkat. Persiapannya pun singkat, hanya 3 hari kita siapkan, tetapi luar biasa animo daripada teman-teman semua, karena tentunya kita semua ingin selalu mengembangkan diri. KNIBB sudah mengupayakan ingin memberikan pengetahuan-pengetahuan mengenai bendungan, baik secara panjang lebar setengah hari, tetapi kita juga mulai memikirkan di mana ada kesempatan-kesempatan expert-expert dari manapun yang datang ke Indonesia bisa kita manfaatkan. Like tim dari Void ini baru minggu kemarin menginformasikan mengenai ada tim ini, sehingga kita ingin ada peluang mereka memberikan komunikasi kepada kita. Ternyata mereka akan menginformasikan masalah sedimentasi, bagaimana antisipasi mengenai sedimentasi. Juga mereka mengantisipasi mengenai bagaimana kontrol bendungan itu menggunakan metode sekarang AI, ya, artificial intelligence. Nah, ini pengetahuan baru buat kita semua. Ini Void akan menunjukkan bagaimana teknologi sekarang dimanfaatkan untuk bisa melihat mengevaluasi suatu bendungan. Nah, ini saya rasa teman-teman dari seluruh Indonesia yang memiliki bendungan sangat berkepentingan dengan ini. KNIBB sangat berterima kasih kepada semua peserta yang bisa hadir hari ini. Tentunya kami berharap bahwa ilmu bendungan ini makin bisa kita pahami semua, makin banyak yang dapat kita serap. Minimal hari ini kita bisa memahami dua hal. Pertama sedimentasi, yang kedua mengenai bagaimana evaluasi suatu bendungan dengan teknologi artificial intelligence. Kemudian satu lagi yang paling penting, bahwa KNIBB telah memiliki lembaga sertifikasi profesi. Nah, ini nanti Pak Hari Sungguh sebagai ketuanya akan menerangkan, jadi kita sudah bisa beroperasi kembali mengenai sertifikasi keahlian bendungan, muda, madya, dan utama. Mohon kepada BUMN maupun balai besar maupun balai kecil wilayah sungai untuk bisa mengkolektif, gitu ya, mengkolektif ataupun perusahaan-perusahaan kontraktor atau konsultan 20 orang akan dilakukan secara kelompok gitu untuk sertifikasi sehingga lebih memudahkan teman-teman di LSP. Jadi ini nanti Pak Ari Sungguh akan menjelaskan. Mungkin itu silakan menikmati webinar ini. Nanti tolong tanyakan dengan semaksimal mungkin apa yang ingin tanyakan. Dan tidak lupa ada hadiah lumayan, ada 2 handphone dan 2 tab ini dari sponsor ya, jadi bisa untuk hiburan kita semua. Silakan menikmati. Selamat pagi semuanya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pak John Panto mewakili dari KNIBB, mudah-mudahan apa yang diinginkan diskusi ataupun sharing pada siang hari ini, serta nanti ada sosialisasi terkait dengan LSP. Bapak Ibu sekalian, kesempatan yang baik sekali sebelum presentasi kaitannya dengan sedimen management serta robotic inspection, kami undang Pak Hari Sungguh untuk bisa sekilas mempresentasikan kaitannya dengan LSP SKBB. Pak Hari Sungguh sudah siap?
Baik, Pak Joko, Joko siap.
Pak Hari Sungguh ini adalah Direktur LSP dan beliau pengalaman di bidang bendungan. Kalau CV-nya saya sebutkan bisa 1 hari tidak selesai. Jadi langsung aja Pak Hari Sungguh bisa mempresentasikan. Pak Direktur.
Baik. Terima kasih ya Pak Joko. Selamat pagi Bapak-Bapak semua, Pak John dan peserta webinar. Baik, pada pagi ini kami akan sekilas sampaikan terkait dengan lembaga sertifikasi profesi, sertifikasi keahlian bendungan besar Indonesia, di mana kami telah berdiri dan sudah mengeluarkan sertifikat keahlian bendungan besar. Baik, Pak Joko, kami mohon izin share screen sekilas untuk kami menyampaikan mengenai SKBB ini.
Oke, koreksi Pak, Om Joko Pak, di sini Pak.
Oh tetap Om Joko. Oke.
Iya, tetap.
Nah, kira di web internasionalnya udah pakai Pak lah. Oke, Om Joko tetap ya.
Master.
Oke.
Silakan,
izin untuk share screen ya, Om Joko.
Oke, maksimal 15 menit. Bapak
ya, oke, 10-15 menit. Oke, sekilas saja, Pak. Oke. Terlihat, Pak?
Ya.
Terlihat, Pak?
Terlihat.
Oke. Kami sampaikan di sini sekali lagi, selamat pagi Bapak-Bapak dan Ibu-Ibu peserta webinar ini. Kami dari Lembaga Sertifikasi Profesi ya, di sini SKBB Indonesia, 99% sahamnya dimiliki oleh Komite Nasional Indonesia untuk Bendungan Besar oleh KNIBB ini. Di sini saya Hari Sungguh sebagai Ketua LSP SKBB Indonesia dan juga anggota Komite Eksekutif KNIBB. Baik, lanjut aja. Baik, Bapak dan Ibu peserta webinar, sebagaimana tadi disampaikan oleh Pak John Pantau di awal webinar ini sebagai pembukaan tadi, bahwa LSP kita di sini, LSP SKBB Indonesia dibentuk oleh Komite Nasional Indonesia untuk Bendungan Besar, oleh KNIBB. SKBB Indonesia didirikan pada tanggal 4 Agustus 2021. Pak notaris ini, Pak Suwandi Alim, jadi sudah lama berdiri. Hanya kita berkoordinasi dengan LPJK, dengan Kementerian PU, dan BNSP. Ada tektok-tekoknya lama proses, namun alhamdulillah saat ini sudah beroperasi dengan baik. Nah, SKBB Indonesia berfungsi sebagai lembaga yang memastikan kompetensi individu dengan tujuan melaksanakan sertifikasi kompetensi kerja di bidang bendungan besar. Jadi khusus di bidang bendungan besar. Nah, ini di bawah KNIBB. KNIBB merupakan organisasi profesi yang sudah terakreditasi. Jadi perlu dipahami di sini, KNIBB adalah organisasi profesi yang sudah terakreditasi sebagaimana surat penetapan akreditasi dari Kementerian PUPR yang kami tunjukkan di sini. Nah, ini dia surat akreditasinya, surat penetapan akreditasinya. Udah terlihat ya Pak ya, Bapak Ibu? Oke. Kemudian terkait dengan LSP ini, tadi disampaikan bahwa Agustus 2021 sudah keluar dari notaris ini, ya, notarisnya, akta notaris sudah keluar juga. Kemudian dari Kementerian Kumham juga ada. Jadi surat keputusan dari Kumham sudah keluar terkait dengan pengesahan. Jadi tadi dari notaris, kemudian dari Kumham surat pengesahannya, pengesahan pendirian LSP ini, ataupun di sini namanya PT Sertifikasi Keahlian Bendungan Besar, namun dengan BNSP itu namanya LSP, Lembaga Sertifikasi Profesi. Jadi dokumen-dokumen ini sudah lengkap, sudah bisa digunakan secara layak. Baik, kami berkomitmen, LSP ini berkomitmen untuk mengembangkan dan meningkatkan mutu sumber daya manusia secara berkelanjutan ya. Kemudian visinya menjadi lembaga sertifikasi profesi yang profesional untuk memastikan tenaga kerja yang ahli dalam bendungan besar dan berdaya saing global serta berwawasan lingkungan. Nah, ini yang ditekankan adalah salah satunya adalah berwawasan lingkungan ya. Kemudian misinya seperti 5 poin misi, salah satunya di sini adalah mengembangkan, menyelenggarakan kegiatan sertifikasi keahlian. Nah, baik Bapak, kami lanjut. Perjalanan dari LSP ini memang hal-hal yang harus dilalui, salah satunya dari LPJK. Kami memperoleh rekomendasi lisensi terkait dengan LSP ini. Jadi sebelum dari BNSP keluar lisensi, kami memperoleh rekomendasi lisensi dari LPJK, Kementerian PUPR ini. Sudah kami lalui pada Oktober 2021. Ini dia dokumennya ini, suratnya yang ditandatangani oleh Ketua LPJK. Kemudian, nah kaitannya dengan pelaksanaan. Tadi disampaikan oleh Pak John bahwa skema yang akan kami laksanakan ataupun kami layani di sini adalah skema ahli teknik bendungan besar, kemudian skema ahli madya bendungan besar, dan skema teknik muda bendungan besar. Ya. Jadi ada 3 skema sementara ini, 3 skema yang kami layani terkait dengan SKK nantinya. Nah, bagaimana dengan skema sertifikasi ini? Sudah diverifikasi oleh BNSP seperti yang kami tampilkan ini. Jadi sudah sah dan sudah valid, sudah diverifikasi oleh BNSP terkait skema kompetensinya nanti. Jadi skema kompetensi ini ada 50 item Pak untuk yang ahli bendungan besar atau istilahnya ahli utama ya, gitu. Tapi nanti dalam pelaksanaannya kita atur dengan para asesornya. Ini dari hasil verifikasi skema oleh BNSP sudah keluar juga. Kemudian dalam pelaksanaan LSP ini harus ada izin dari BNSP. Kami sudah memperoleh lisensi dari BNSP. Ini dia dari Ketua BNSP ya, nomor 2431 tahun 2022. Tepatnya di sini nanti tanggal 6 Desember 2022. Jadi kami sudah memperoleh lisensi pada Desember 2022. Nah, berdasarkan lisensi itu kami harus melaksanakan kegiatan awal sertifikasi, artinya witness ya, witness uji coba yang dihadiri oleh BNSP maksimum 3 bulan. Kami laksanakanlah witness terhadap asesi, 3 asesi yang itu untuk utama, madya, dan muda. Kami laksanakan dan alhamdulillah sudah berhasil. Sudah keluar sertifikatnya. Baik Bapak dan Ibu peserta webinar, kami lanjutkan lagi sekilas ini. Nah, untuk melaksanakan kegiatan sertifikasi ini, kami dibantu oleh para asesor. Jadi asesor LSP SKBB Indonesia sudah memperoleh SKA sertifikat dari BNSP sesuai dengan keahliannya dan sebagainya ini. Nah, asesor yang ada di kami ada 22 asesor. Sebenarnya kalau skemanya 3 tadi, skemanya muda, madya, dan utama, itu asesor minimum 6 saja cukup. Namun kami tetap untuk mendukung perkembangan ke depan, kami memiliki asesor 22 personel dengan kualifikasi yang luar biasa. Di sini Bapak-bapak bisa lihat sendiri nama-nama beliau ada di sini. Ada Pak Erlangga, ada Pak Duki Malindo, Pak Hanan, Pak Pitoyo, senior-senior kami di sini. Ada Bu Made, ada Pak Firman, dan sebagainya. Di sini termasuk Joko. Joko juga ada nomor 18, Pak Jon Panto nomor 16, dan saya sendiri nomor 14. Di sini ada juga Bu Anissa nomor 19 yang ada dari BTP dan seterusnya. Jadi ada 22 asesor kami siap untuk melayani kebutuhan kesiapan daripada pelayanan SKK Bendungan besar ini. Ini asesornya Pak. Kami sudah siap semua dan masa berlaku dari asesor ini sertifikatnya adalah 4 tahun. Jadi masih fresh ini, masih siap untuk melaksanakan kegiatan sertifikasi. Kami lanjut Pak. Oke. Baik, Bapak dan Ibu-ibu sekalian, adapun struktur organisasinya adalah sebagai berikut Pak. Jadi ada pengarah, ketua pengarah adalah Pak Jon Panto. Pak Jon Panto sebagai ketua pengarah. Di situ juga ada anggotanya Pak Priyo. Kemudian ketua adalah saya sendiri Hari Sungguh. Kemudian tadi disampaikan ada asesornya yang 22 orang di sini. Ketua dan pengarah juga sebagai asesor juga. Kemudian komite skema. Komite skema ada Joko di sini. Komite skema yang juga asesor. Joko ada di komite skema Joko.
Siap, Komandan.
Oke, nah di bawah itu semua nanti ada manajer-manajernya Pak, yang terdiri manajer administrasi dan keuangan, manajer sertifikasi. Manajer sertifikasi dipegang oleh Ibu Mary, sedangkan manajemen Bu dipegang oleh Dr. Suprapto M. Eng. Nah, mudah-mudahan di sini Dr. Suprapto dan Bu Mary menyimak pertemuan ini. Oke, kami lanjut. Baik. Bapak dan Ibu peserta webinar, tadi sudah disampaikan setelah keluarnya lisensi dari BNSP kami mengadakan witness untuk 3 peserta, untuk 3 skema, yaitu skema muda, madya, dan utama ataupun ahli. Nah, alhamdulillah prosesnya cukup cepat, ya, cukup cepat dengan dokumen-dokumen yang lengkap dan sebagainya. Kita proses melalui LPJK, melalui portal Kementerian PU dan juga BNSP. ketiga peserta witness tersebut sudah keluar SKK-nya dengan nomor ini dan berlaku sampai 5 Februari 2028. Artinya apa? SKK yang sekarang ini berlaku selama 5 tahun, tidak 3 tahun lagi seperti yang waktu-waktu lalu yang masih dengan LPJK. Jadi sekarang 5 tahun. Silakan Bapak-Bapak nanti kalau mau memperpanjang ataupun membuat baru SKK, kami siap melayani kegiatan sertifikasi ini. Nah, itu yang ketiga. Kemudian tanggal 8 April lalu kami sudah mengadakan kegiatan perdana sertifikasi ini yang diikuti oleh 26 peserta. Dan alhamdulillah dalam jangka waktu cepat dengan dokumen yang lengkap dan didukung oleh para asesor ini, kami melaksanakan kegiatan tersebut, semuanya sudah bersertifikat, sudah keluar sertifikatnya ini. Jadi insya Allah kita tidak pakai lama lagi Pak, kalau dokumennya lengkap, hasil verifikasi dan sebagainya, kita masukkan ke sistem simpan, ya simpan namanya, kita masukkan, nanti dibantu oleh tim kita untuk memproses itu, untuk mempercepat kegiatan sertifikasi ini. Nah, baru nanti kita laksanakan kegiatan sertifikasi face to face, ataupun nanti kami akan proses juga perizinan secara online. Namun sementara ini izin dari BNSP untuk online belum terbit, kami masih melaksanakan kegiatan offline atau face to face di sini. Ini sudah keluar semua Pak. Jadi yang 26 ini sudah semua, ada Pak Erlanengga, Pak Buki Malindo, Pak Priyo, dan seterusnya di sini. Termasuk Pak John Pantau memperpanjang. Pak John Pantau di sini. Oke, kami lanjut.
Ini ya, slot untuk diskusi atau tanya jawab. Silakan Bapak Ibu sekalian, kaitannya dengan LSP kalau ada pertanyaan, pernyataan. Kebetulan ini ada asesor kita, Pak John Pantau, ada Pak Ari Sungguh, dan teman-teman yang lain. Silakan kalau ada pertanyaan yang nun jauh di sana maupun yang ada di ruangan ini. Di ruangan ini ada 3 asesor, ada Pak Adi Rusman, ada Pak John Pantau. Silakan Bapak-Ibu sekalian. Ini door prize sudah kita siapkan. Kapan LSP didirikan? Door prize sudah siap. Alhamdulillah Void bersama tim sudah menyiapkan door prize untuk kita semua. Pak Hari, kayaknya ini belum bertanya karena belum terjebak kalau ditanya masalah sertifikat keahlian. Ya. Nanti kalau sudah terjebak baru nanya-nanya ke Pak Hari.
Siap.
Kayaknya gitu ya.
Oke.
Atau sebelum ini biar agak panas Pak John bisa menanggapi sedikit Pak. Silakan siapa nih?
Ya, izin saya Mahendra dari Perum Desa Tipe 1 Pak.
Oke, silakan Mas Mahendra.
Videonya agak nggak bisa saya tampil, jaringannya agak bermasalah ya. Ya, terima kasih Pak Hari Sungguh. Salam ketemu lagi Pak. Saya Hendra Pak.
Oke Pak Mahendra.
Ya, nah, yang ingin saya tanyakan, kebetulan saya kan sudah memiliki sertifikasi kalian madya ya, menengah ya berarti, menengah ya. Nah, pertanyaannya untuk memiliki sertifikasi ini apakah bisa perorangan yang tidak memiliki pengalaman di Bendungan untuk ikut, atau memang diwajibkan harus punya background penanganan bendungan? Misal kalau semisal seperti instansi atau juga regulator mungkin bisa ya, tapi kalau untuk yang sifatnya private atau swasta itu apa bisa dimungkinkan untuk memiliki sertifikat seperti ini? Terima kasih.
Langsung Pak Hari Sungguh bisa ditanggapi.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Mahendra. Salam jumpa lagi. Pak Mahendra tadi sudah memperoleh SKK Madya, tentu produk LPJK tempo hari. Nah, untuk perorangan bisa Pak mengajukan. Kebetulan kami ada agenda tanggal 22 dan 27 itu mulai. Nah, untuk perorangan silahkan daftar tanggal 27 untuk untuk mengikuti, nanti biar dikolek di situ semua. Dan itu pun yang perorangan sudah ada sekitar 10 orang untuk mengikuti sertifikasi ini. Nah, bagaimana dengan syarat-syaratnya? Nah, tadi tentu harus yang dari pendidikan S1, sipil, mesin, pengairan, kemudian elektrik, ya, dan sebagainya yang ada dalam skema ini. Nanti kami sampaikan, bisa terkait dengan skema itu bisa dilihat di sekretariat kami. Kemudian bagaimana dengan keahliannya? Untuk perencana, pengelola, dan pelaksana bisa ikut. Artinya pengelola bendungan, seperti Pak Mahendra kan sebagai pengelola bendungan, walaupun tugasnya tidak selalu di bendungan, tapi di perencanaan dan sebagainya, itu bisa masuk ke kategori untuk memperoleh sertifikat keahlian bendungan ini. Prinsipnya ada yang di perencanaan, pelaksanaan, dan pengelolaan, termasuk pengawasan maksudnya. Itu bisa untuk mendaftar memperoleh sertifikat keahlian ataupun SKK, ya, sertifikat kompetensi kerja bendungan besar. Saya rasa itu Pak Mahendra bisa didaftarkan. Tidak hanya Pak Mahendra, teman-teman pun bisa. Coba yang ada di PJT 1 digiring saja Pak untuk daftar. Saya sudah menghubungi Pak Fahmi untuk dikumpulkan teman-teman di PJT 1 untuk mengikuti sertifikasi ini. Saya rasa begitu Pak Mahendra. Joko, kami kembalikan.
Ya, sedikit lagi mungkin Pak Ari. Ya, maksud saya mungkin kalau seandainya dari sipilitas, ya, misal ya ada orang lulusan baru lulus dari sarjana teknik, apakah dimungkinkan adanya kerjasama dengan akademisi, dalam arti begitu dia lulus dia juga ini bisa kita ambil nih sertifikatnya, keahliannya, atau harus melewati tahapan dulu, harus punya pengalaman dan harus punya referensi yang baku dulu, atau bagaimana?
Betul Pak Mahendra, terima kasih, ini bagus sekali pertanyaan. Memang kami ada, ataupun dari BNSP sesuai dengan skema itu ada fasilitas seperti itu. Untuk fresh graduate ada, kita layani. Hanya di sini nanti sertifikatnya tidak berlaku 5 tahun. Jadi cukup 1 tahun aja diproses untuk cari pengalaman dan sebagainya. Jadi untuk fresh graduate ada, jadi 0 ya, 0 tahun masih bisa. Sudah ada dalam skema kami terkait itu. Tentu nanti yang bersangkutan jatuhnya akan di muda, ya, artinya keahliannya dari ahli muda gitu ya. Tapi tetap untuk yang fresh graduate masih bisa Pak Mahendra, masih bisa.
Ya, terima kasih Pak Ari.
Oke Pak Mahendra. Kami kembali ke Om Joko.
Terima kasih Pak Mahendra. Nanti detail bisa kontak langsung. Ini ada pertanyaan yang kaitannya dengan Mbak Luki Diah Ekor ini. Kaitannya dengan sertifikat yang sudah expired. Karena ini kita BNSP, intinya kembali ke nol. Seperti yang Pak John Panto, meskipun sudah punya pengalaman, punya banyak sertifikat, tetap kembali ke nol. Gitu ya Pak John Panto ya?
Terus kembali
ke nol. Terus kaitannya geodesi, nanti kita pastikan bisa dan tidaknya. Terus tadi ada yang jawab, betul sekali Pak Tejo. Dengar suara saya Pak Tejo?
Dengar Pak, ya.
Nah, Bapak kita kasih hadiah sebuah buku. Nanti kita kirim sebuah buku Bendungan. Tolong bisa cek alamat lengkapnya. Oke, Bapak-Ibu sekalian,
terima kasih.
Alhamdulillah untuk kaitannya dengan SKBB sudah kita akhiri, dan terima kasih banyak Pak Hari Sungguh.
Sama-sama Pak Joko.
Pak Hari Sungguh.
Oke Joko.
Alhamdulillah kita menginjak webinar spesial webinar di tahun 2023 kaitannya dengan sedimen dan robotik. Selengkapnya ini akan dipandu oleh Pak John Panto. Bapak-Ibu sekalian, pengalaman Pak John Panto mulai sejak awal saya sebagai ASN, beliau sudah menangani kaitannya dengan sumber daya air. Dan kalau dilihat dari kacamata non jauh di sana, beliau terkait dengan bendungan sudah mumpuni segala hal. Itu sekilas CV Pak John Panto. Selengkapnya Pak John Panto bisa memimpin diskusi maupun sharing pada siang hari ini yang akan sebagai narasumber Pak Andreas sama Pak Lawrence. Selengkapnya Pak John Panto, kami persilahkan.
Terima kasih Joko waktunya. Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, hari ini kita akan 2 orang dari expert kita, Andre Venora, dan dia Product Manager untuk AE Inspection. Kemudian dengan Lawrence Lenhart di sebelah kanan, itu Product Manager untuk Sediment Care. Sebelahnya lagi ada Abhishek Mehta, dia ada Void Representation in Indonesia. Abhishek. Okay, we start the Andre Venora. Who is it? Andre Venora is aerospace engineering from University of Pisa, Italy, dan dia MSc in wind energy from TU Delft, Netherlands. I think many people from Netherlands Delft University, Pak, Indonesia, many alumni, and MBA from BBS Bologna, Italy, and specialist for the wind energy. Move juga in the working in the GE as gas turbine specialist, and joined the Void tahun 2016, 2016, and 2022 special for the global digital product manager. They will explain about the AE inspection in the dam. Okay, Pak, time for you.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum. Thanks for inviting us today. I will speak with my Italian English. I hope you understand. If you have a question, if I'm speaking not clear, please stop. We have maybe some translation if needed. Okay, again, we start with the robotic inspection or artificial inspection. This service product is called Sense. We developed in Void since 2 years together with some partners. And the topic of Sense is infrastructure lifecycle apps that helps engineers, companies, institutions to safely monitor and inspect assets, of which most important dams. But why, as Void, we have invested in this development? You probably knows this, or you have seen this shocking news that are from the region, and so you know how important, delicate. Is this a question? Is there? No, it's okay. Okay. Myself, I come from Italy, and we had We had in the 60s a big disaster concerning a dam where 3,000 people died. And from that moment on, there was really a lot of pressure from the government to monitoring hydro assets. And in Italy, we have big dams, a lot of them. We have the Alps. So this was a critical point. Okay, not only for preventing disaster, but asset in monitoring and the inspection is it critical for many aspects. You know, hydro market has difficult asset, difficult infrastructure, big dams, pipes, penstocks, buildings, and so on. Inspection required also a lot of information, a lot of data, a lot of pictures, that are often fragmented, so separate in different archives, different storage, and so on. Third point, inspecting these complex assets, complex infrastructure, sometimes is dangerous, like working at height in case of dams, or working in confined space, like inspecting tunnels or penstocks. All of these create a very difficult for you, for your job, to make a decision, to make what should be do for that asset, to avoid, to prevent lack of production, and often to prevent disasters. Nowadays, there are already some technologies like robots, drones, underwater drones, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and so on that helps. But all of these tools, all of this technology often is fragmented, is distributed, is not connected. So you have a lot of information, but how to connect all these things together. And this is what we have developed as a platform where all this information can come together in a digital form to help your work as an inspector, as a company, as an authority to make action. And this platform, we call it Sense. In brief, what are the major points that as a benefit for your, if you use this platform for inspecting your asset? Definitely using technology like drones, robots, and so on, it becomes safer for the employee to do inspection. It becomes quicker, fast, more precise, because you are able to use technology to identify defects that normally would be difficult to do. And this is also an economic advantage. How does the process work? We use robots, in this case, drones, underwater robots, penstock robots, to collect data, to collect pictures. With these pictures, we create a 3D model, a digital twin, that represent the asset digitally on your computer. Then, using the same picture, then we developed an artificial intelligence that is able to recognize defects, damages, like cracks, like spalling. Once you have all this, something with it's not showing, sorry. Sorry, something with the presentation. It doesn't show.
You can stop the same.
Yeah, okay.
Berhenti, Pak.
Sorry for the technical problem.
You reply.
But now I'm gonna stop this.
Your screen.
Yeah, it's just blocked. It's froze. Point.
It's like it's the internet is offering also as well. We turn down the computer size and little just little bigger. For this moment,
Eine Verbundenheit aufgebaut. the internet. It's broken. So. Did it? Full screen? Okay. Sorry. Okay, we are back again. So, okay, go a little bit back. Repeat. So first step is collecting image using drones, robot, and so on. Then the second step, we create a 3D model, a digital twin of the asset, the dam, the spillway, the penstock, and so on. And the third step is what we call make sense. Once you have all this information, the platform identify the defects, localize the defects, tell you how big is the defect, which kind of defects, and then it's up to the engineer with the years of expertise to tell if the defect has what kind of recommendation you need to do, what kind of rating for create then an action. Because with the tool, with the platform, then you can create automatically reports. Can you ask if there are any question?
You continue.
And yes, okay. Okay, first, one of the last projects we have done in Europe, in Scotland, is the Cluny Dam. That's a 75 years old dam that for this company, SSE Renewables, we have done this inspection. Why we have done this digitally and why we have done this deep inspection? In Scotland, it is required that every 10 years, an external authority do an audited inspection, and then the authority recommends what to do with each asset. In this case, it was recommended that every 3 years, they should do a full inspection of the asset, internally and externally of the asset. So SSE decided to use our tool, to use Sense for doing this job. So we have used drones to capture the picture outside. And so you see on the top part of the picture, the 3D model, and the below part, you will see real picture from the drone. Here again, on the top part, you see the 3D model, the digital twin, where the artificial intelligence has recognized that there are 2 cracks near the window. Cracks 53, it's called ID, so the identification number 53 is a crack. And here on the right, you see all the characteristics of the cracks. So the software automatically detects that it is a crack that is 0.72 meter long and 1.1 millimeter wide. And then it is up to the engineer to rate this crack, making a rating. Is this critical? Is this dangerous? And so on. The same thing was done for the internal part. You see on the lower part, this is the 3D model of the all rooms inside the so-called 3 towers of the structure of the dam. Same process. On the top, you see the 3D model. On the below part, you see real pictures. And again, here, the cracks that is identified by the artificial intelligence. And on the top, a 3D model where these cracks are. And on the right part, the description of the, in this case, the damage ID 7946. Okay, now I want to show you a video. Hopefully it works. Is it shown on the TV? Oh, sorry. Where is it here? The only thing, can we put the audio? Share audio. There is an audio in the, yeah. I think the first. This one. This what this mean? This.
Yeah.
Share the audio or video. Yes. Okay. Then it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
The Store Inspect Infrastructure Lifecycle Hub is a browser-based platform that enables digital inspections. In this short demonstration, we will have a look at the digital inspection of a hydro dam located in Scotland. After accessing the platform, the asset list, which consists of all assets created for a certain organization, will be displayed. Entering the Asset Overview page will allow us to gather and store more information about the asset. Additionally, there also is the possibility to create asset components, as well as uploading 2D plans. In the inspection list, all inspections that have been performed for a certain asset will be shown. Upon entering the inspection, some general information, like important dates and weather conditions or an overview image, are shown. Further below, the overall rating of the asset and its asset components is summarized. On the bottom of the Overview tab, the 3D model of the asset will be displayed. This 3D model was captured by drone in just a few hours. Zooming in will load a better resolution of the model texture, keeping performance stable despite a very high texture quality. The beauty of 3D models immediately is revealed. Hard-to-reach surfaces can easily be visualized digitally, and key areas can be inspected. In general, 3D models are an ideal means to show real-world circumstances in a digital space. To enable experts to assess the condition of the asset rapidly and effectively, an artificial intelligence is used to automatically detect and classify damages on the captured images. Multiple tools and functionalities are offered to focus in on the important damages and areas of an asset. By using filters, for example filtering by damage type and damage dimensions, we can have a look at damages of interest. All damages are additionally mapped onto the 3D model, allowing for an even better orientation and localization. The AI detection is shown on the 2D image, and the overlay can be easily turned off to get a better view. On the right side, all relevant information regarding a damage is displayed. Fields like damage type or the damage dimensions are automatically filled through the AI. The rating, on the other hand, will be done by human experts. To complete the digital inspection process, ratings on asset component level can be added, and measures can be assigned to certain asset components or damages. Last but not least, a report can be automatically generated that gathers all the damage information shown in the previous steps in a Word report. For this specific hydro dam, not only the external structure, but also the internal rooms have been captured. Also, the artificial intelligence was used for the automatic damage detection and classification. The StruckInspect Infrastructure Lifecycle Hub is a browser-based platform that enables digital inspections. In this short demonstration, we will have a look at the digital inspection of a hydro dam located
The video was done by my colleague, the technical expert who worked and made the analysis for the SAC Cluny Dam, the 75 years old dam. And now I want to show you other few examples or where it was used, this tool. This example is for Los Angeles Metro, subway tunnel inspection. Why I'm showing this? Also in hydro, we have tunnels that can be inspected using such technology. And the advantage is, according to the study that we have done for Los Angeles Metro, it was much quicker, like 1/3 of the time that generally would take for people to really manually inspect such tunnel, and it was more accurate. Why is that? Because you can imagine, you think on the online, there is an inspector that does this job, and can be very tiring to go work through a long tunnel, and especially after a while, you might not be able to catch all information. While automatically a software and AI can do this for you, helping your job to do a better result. This is the result for the tunnel. For a part of the tunnel, it's called an orthophoto. Means generally the tunnel is around, and then you straight the picture. So you have a straight and 2D picture, and there you can map the defect, and the AI, the artificial intelligence, would recognize automatically this for you. Another example, this is an overflow tunnel. As you see, here are the results. So also tunnels can be, or penstock can be inspected using this technology. Continue. Okay. This is another example, an aqueduct in Austria. And you see same procedure. And this is our timeline. So at the moment, we have fully understand solution and ready solution for civil structure like dams, bridges, spillways. We are working for penstock, like stainless steel penstock, in which using our robot, we can clean the penstock, we can inspect the penstock, and we can paint the penstock. And for next year, we are developing underwater robots for inspecting tunnels without the watering. Going forward in our roadmap, we want to also inspect underwater structure, machinery inside powerhouse, and underwater components like the turbine. For drones, we have a network of pilot drones companies that do this for us. And in Asia, we have Aerodin from Malaysia who can support this. For penstock, this is our two partners, one from Spain, one from Czech Republic. Hoovering Solution uses autonomous drones to fly inside the penstock. And Jetty Robot use a robot that can inspect up to 1.5 kilometer penstock and do cleaning and painting as well. These are some partners we are developing for underwater solution, especially for tunnels. Thank you. This is the end of the presentation. Now open for questions.
Okay, Mr. Andrea Pinora. I think we make questioning together in the last time. This is the final after Mr. Lawrence.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, now we will continue to the Mr. Lawrence about the sediment care. Mr. Lawrence Reinhardt is the graduate from the Mechanical Engineering University Technical Dresden, Germany. Right. And business analytic in the University of ULM. Okay, now he working in the point from 2013, and now the position in the product manager for sediment care program. Okay, Mr. Lawrence, you can make a presentation about 20 minutes, and after that we question and answer time. Okay, please, time.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So, light of the time, I will try to be fast. I'm talking about the sediment care program. I took over developing this product a year ago, and we have already come pretty far. So today, I want to give you an insight why sediment management matters. I want to show you how it works, and if there's enough time, we can also discuss where we are active right now. So why do sediments and why does sediment management matter? Worldwide, every reservoir with an intake faces the issue of sediment transported into that reservoir. Based on what kind of reservoir you own, if it is for energy production or for flood protection or just for water storage, the sediment causes a threat to all of these kinds of reservoirs, and because it displaces usable storage volume, it decreases the hydropower generation in case of a power dam. It reduces the reliability of domestic and irrigation water supply and flood management, and it usually also degrades the aquatic habitats in these kinds of reservoirs. So we can part this into the two sides, the upstream side and the downstream side. So for the upstream side of a reservoir dam, it usually causes safety issues to the bottom outlet. decreases reservoir capacity, and our customers, they're facing erosion of turbines and machinery by the sediments, but the uncontrolled intake of sediments. And downstream, we see sediment continuity that is completely blocked. We see increased riverbed erosion. We see a decreasing aquatic biodiversity and eroded river deltas, up to declining coastlines in cases of, for example, Japan, South America, North America. I give you some facts and figures on sedimentation. So basically, there's several studies out, and the newest study was coming from the ICOLD, that losing capacity, reservoir capacity, is a worldwide issue. And based on the region and based on the age of the reservoir, it's more or less effective. So some studies say that around 80% of the reservoir capacities will be silted by 2035 in Asia, 2080 in Europe. This is always based on the age and of the intake of sediments. What we also see is that sediments and the lack of sediments causes a threat to infrastructure. So we have very strong eroding rivers that don't carry enough sediments to fill up the lack of sediments. And what we also see is delta formation. So the heaps of our wetlands that we have worldwide are decreasing, which is a threat to our nature. So seeing these issues, the decreasing amounts of produced power for our customers, the increasing maintenance and requirements for turbines, and also because societies pay more and more attention to sustainable energy production and sustainability issues, our hydropower producers have to tackle the sediment issues by doing a certain sediment management. Right now, there's 3 conventional methods available. The first method is you don't do anything. There's a line on my screen. Where is it coming from? Go to the next slide. No, it's on this slide. I don't know. So the first thing that can be done is you don't do anything, but then you lose capacity and productivity. The second thing that most of our customers do is conventional dredging, which means letting out all the water of the reservoir. Let me delete this line there, please. I cannot delete it. If anyone can delete it, please delete it. Is dredging the reservoir, which means usually downtime for our customers and loss of water. And it's only a temporary solution. So the reservoir will be filling again with sediments. Will be filling with sediments again. And in this case, also the customer is obliged to put the sediment somewhere. So he has to dump it somewhere, which produces additional cost again. The third solution that our customers are using is flushing. And this flushing is an uncontrolled sediment transport, which is usually very inefficient because it's only working in the front of the reservoir, which is here. But if you have a bigger size reservoir, the sediments will also be in these places here and displace crucial capacity in your reservoir, but you cannot reach by flushing. Over time, usually our customers are combining the negative effects of dredging, which is high cost, and flushing, which is the inefficiency. And by doing that, they're also harming the environment. So this is why Voigt is introducing the sediment care program. The sediment care program provides a controlled and cost-effective sustainable sediment transport to our customers in combination with a complete service around turbine and machine parts. So how does it work? Basically, we supply the customer with a specialized vessel. It's a suction dredger that can be run autonomously, fully automatic on the reservoir or at the run of the river plant. it's a fully automated and controlled process that allows us to inject sediment in controlled portions into the penstock. And then by knowing the sediment concentration and by knowing by having full control of the process, allows us to maintain the residual lifetime of the runner. Because it also comes as the second component with the full maintenance and repair and whatever is needed to take care of the erosion in the turbine parts. So the benefits compared to other methods is we don't create any downtime. The customer can use the reservoir, can use the powerhouse, the power station all the time. We're restoring the capacity and it's sustainable because it's restoring the natural sediment balance in the river. And I give you an example. The Mekong Delta, for example, is suffering of that imbalance of sediments massively. Compared to dredging, again, we are not creating any water loss for the customer. We don't create any downtime. We don't create any impact on organisms or heavy environmental effects. And there's no dumping of the sediments needed. And the sediments and nutrients remain in the river. Compared to flushing, again, we don't create any water loss. We don't create any downtime. And the impact of our system will be on the full reservoir. So we can also take care on sediment that is lying here or here. It's not only in the area of the reservoir output. On the hydropower station equipment, we take care of the erosion risk. We do erosion risk assessment for turbine and turbine parts. We do turbine maintenance and repair. We can supply you with coating of turbines and the turbine parts. We can always combine a project like this with a modernization of the turbine also, or with a standard rehabilitation of the system. And while doing this, we're installing and integrate sediment monitoring systems, which also allow us to do always remote diagnostics on all parts. Here I show you some examples of a controlled sediment transport on the left hand and an uncontrolled sediment transport on the right hand. The right hand is an Indian project, Salal, with a very high sediment load, and the customer did not take care of taking account this erosion into his processes and operation. On the left hand, you see what Voigt is able to do. We can combine hard coatings here and soft coatings, also with erosion, abrasion, optimized designs to make sure that the runner is running consistently and the downtime is minimized for the customer. Also, the sediment care program comes with a full monitoring system and data management. So it's easy for the customer to always maintain the effort that is done in this reservoir and also the results and the desilting process. And based on how the customer likes it and based on the requirements of data security, we can also do this using a cloud application, but we are also able to run the system fully analog if security, data security is an issue for the customer. So our carefree program for a customer works in a way that we are recovering and maintaining the reservoir storage volume for him. We're securing the hydropower production. We restore the sediment continuity without production downtimes. And we take care of all operation and maintenance that is needed. And on the machine side, we always start with the prediction of the material losses for the turbine parts. We do remote diagnostics. We can use turbine coatings. We do erosion repair, everything that is needed to have an uninterrupted power production. I now show you some features of the product. So basically it's a pay-per-use model, but we're completely cooperative on how the customer wants to run the system. We can run this 24/7, fully automated. We increase the availability and capacity for the hydropower station by also doing all turbine monitoring, maintenance, and repair. The system is effective on the whole reservoir, not only on single places. And it's also always adaptable to the local sediment management policies. So if environmental departments restrict a certain sediment concentration in the downstream, we're able to make sure that this the increased sediment concentration downstream never overgoes certain values. And for the customer, there's always online measurement available and data management as well as reporting based on how often he needs it. So if he wants it monthly or yearly or in a quarter or every day. If we do a sediment care program with our customer, we always start with a pre-study and a site visit. We always do a sediment analysis, hydrology analysis. We do turbine condition inspection to have a clear picture on where the powerhouse stands, what are the biggest issues, and how we tackle them. And then with the data, we do a machine part risk assessment, which means CFD analysis, laboratory testing, whatever is needed. Then we go with the customer into operational planning to synchronize every maintenance step that needs to be done with the normal maintenance that the customer is planning for his power plant. When all of this is done and we can start the work, we're installing our dredger, do the commissioning, connect all data systems and remote diagnostics, and then we go forth and start all the other processes that are needed for maintenance in parallel. And where are we active? One bigger project in Germany that we're doing is a project of one of our sub-suppliers in Germany in a pump storage. This is the upper reservoir that is filling up with sediment constantly, because the sediment is pumped out of the river. So the sub-supplied dredger is actually used there constantly to keep the reservoir free of any sediments. We're also running a pilot in Austria that is right now completely finished actually, but we're still waiting for the approval of the environmental authorities. And this is where we stand. So actually I'm done now with the presentation. And I think we are open for questions now.
Okay, Mr. Penora and Mr. Lenhard. There is many questions from the participant. I think this Carol, you can show.
Oh, share.
Yeah.
Oh. Stop sharing.
Oh, you can do that. Use the host.
You can share.
Yeah.
This is please. There is many. Okay. Teman-teman kalau mau bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia silakan juga di chat, bisa kita terjemahkan nantinya. Please.
So the first question, we use photogrammetry to do the 3D model, and then the artificial intelligence is developed by our partner. This is Truck Inspect. For software, we can use different kind of software. The technology is photogrammetry. The second question, which one is more accurate with it? With the laser scan. So the laser scan, in terms of distance and dimension, laser scanning is more accurate. We can combine both photogrammetry and laser scan to have a more accurate 3D model. But we use pictures because the artificial intelligence recognize pixels to recognize damages and location.
Mr. Vishnu, are you okay with the answer? Do you have any questions? Then feel free. This is more of an interaction, so you can also ask more questions.
Pak Wisnu, mau ada apa jawabannya? Udah cukup? Okay, we can continue.
Yeah.
Okay, the third question, did sense only investigate?
Okay, Pak Wisnu, silakan.
Oke, Pak.
Oke, Pak Wisnu, silakan. Cukup.
penjelasannya. Jadi ada kombinasi dengan laser scan dan dengan fotogrametri berarti Pak ya.
I think Pak John's speakers.
Speaker. Oke, speakers.
Dari
mereka.
Oh yeah, maybe from them.
Okay. The third question is not really sure
on the investigate.
Yeah, it's investigate the status. Cannot do planning. What's the life cycle hub will do? It's giving advice. This is in development on about what if you do maintenance, what will happen to your asset? This is a life cycle analysis, it's called. It's in development. We don't have it ready yet.
Maybe here what probably the question might be, during the construction process also, can this checking be done so that the quality of construction also can be monitored using this?
Yes, definitely it can be done. Yes, if this was the question, yeah, thanks.
Okay. From Pas Yariar.
From
Mr. Faria. Already.
No, already answered
Mr. Parindra.
Yeah. Does the AI can identify and predict? At the moment, no. We are only focusing on the concrete dam, but we can train the AI for such things. Okay. So if we can create a project together where we train the AI to automatically do this, yes.
Yeah, like the dam is sometimes the type is CFFD, concrete face top fill dam. I think you can use.
Yeah. We need a picture. We need a data set of picture. We train them, and then yes, it can be done.
Basically, it's possible.
It's yes.
Yeah, I think
we have to develop it.
We have to develop, but it's possible.
Okay. Diulang Pak Parindra. Cukup ya?
Yes, enough Pak. Thank you.
This Master from Professor Arif Paputungan. They have many experience the CFRD dam. Maybe you can answer the Mr.
Arif. Yeah, thanks Arif for your question. The price it's really depends on what do you really bad.
Yeah. Maybe Pak Arif, what we can reply is it is not expensive.
Yeah.
I cannot give you a number immediately, but it is not expensive. Because we only
can like the small dam, how much like that?
Basically, the pricing model is depending on how many area you want to cover. But generally, I think is not so expensive. So we can probably also do some pilot project for PUPR or for dam safety. We can do one pilot project also. And if you have,
do you have you already model in Indonesia?
Not yet, Pa. We are looking for opportunity in Indonesia to do one project here also.
We have project in Europe. We have project in South America, and now we're starting in Asia.
Yeah. Because the Indonesian every 5 years we have the major inspection. But if you not so big price, maybe we can advise to PUPR to use the.
Definitely. Yeah. Very good suggestion, Pa. Thank you very much. We will come back to you for more detailed discussion on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Then the other question from Mahendra, what to ask about your presentation? How about the security? Is this can be open source? Okay, about security. Okay. Last question. I'm not. So we are using Google Cloud. So all the information are in Google Cloud. At the moment, the server are in Europe, in Austria, physically. I don't know about the government, but we can investigate.
I think we only use very, let's say, reputed cloud services. Yes. So it can be like Google Cloud Services, Microsoft Cloud Services. So I think there is no issue, but it's a very good point that you have mentioned about the safety and security. We can check it and we can come back to you on this.
Yes. For instance, in the US, we have moved to Microsoft for this Los Angeles metro that I showed you. So it is possible. Of course, we need a project together on development, and we can develop the cloud, the software on the cloud that you feel more secure.
Yeah.
Of course, this is very hard to do on premises, because you see, like the one I showed you, the Cluny Dam, there is 500 gigabyte of data, and to run visualization and AI on with such amount of data on premises, it's almost impossible. Okay, the other, can I move to the other question? Yeah. As your explanation, I appreciate you can do. Yes, we can. It's only about damages. Sorry, training. If we do the training, we can recognize damage on any material. Steel, like if you want to see, for instance, cracks on the steel, very hard, because the cracks on the steel are super small, fine, so it's very, very hard. On steel, you probably could see corrosion, you probably could see missing painting. Cracks, I don't think we can train for this. Now the thickness, you can't see it. Okay, this is...
One more. Iqbal. Is there any plan to develop capability? So I think yes.
Yeah, it's the same answer. Yeah, I said the answer is yes. We need to develop together on a project, and then we can do this.
Yeah. This domain from Arif.
Arif as well. Is there any plan to? It's the same. The same. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your questions.
Please.
Okay. So when we do sediment transport, it's actually it's a very physical thing to do. So there's no, let's say, special software needed in a way. What you need is actually a dredger, and you need to have you need to be sure of certain control measures and automation measures within hydropower stations. And this is part of our business. So automating and synchronizing a dredger to a hydropower station. That's sediment monitoring part. You mean in the sediment monitoring? For the monitoring, it's actually I would say it's based on what you need, because we were talking already about the security matter, and as hydropower stations are let's say a very valuable asset. For us, it's possible to measure the sediments and give you also down. We can do it fully digitally, and then we use, for example, HydroPocket, which is a digital product in our portfolio. But we can also go down to analog signals if the customer wants that, and be super secure in his powerhouses. So we can run the whole system offline, actually. Do you have an internship program? Yeah, we do have an internship program. Actually, check out our website, voigt.com, And then you will find all open space, all open jobs at the Void company for internships. So we're very open for people to work for us. Always let me know if you're interested in a certain position, write me an email.
Okay, thank you. And continue,
Can, no, actually, this question already came from customers. We can go up to a sediment or to grain sizes up to 60 millimeters.
16 millimeters.
60. Yeah, 60. But it always has to make sure that the hydropower station is safe. So if you want to run such gravel and cobble, you have to make sure that we're taking the right measures in the hydropower stations. This is part of the risk assessment we do for you.
Okay.
Sorry, can you scroll? The question from Sayaral Kwaza. Yeah, sure. So actually, it is safe for the turbine. This is part of the deal. So when you buy from us, we make sure that your asset is preserved and your asset is safe. This is why we always do the risk assessment first, and then we would go through the estimated things and preparations that need to be done with the turbine. And for this, we have several different options. So our customers will always go in cooperation with us, and then we find the perfect solution for our customer. Actually, you need to consider that we're doing this for a long time, and we have a lot of knowledge when it comes to abrasion risk. We have a lot of knowledge of when it comes to workshops. We have a lot of knowledge when it comes to coatings, to all possibilities, to welding, to surfacing. So we would always combine our knowledge here to that.
Okay, so this is from Ilham Bobben. You can short answer.
Yeah, from Imam, yes, sure. So the last question, what is the cost per cubic meter? Actually, this is always based on the specialities of your powerhouse. But I assure you, we usually are cheaper than dredging, always.
Okay, we have one important person, Mr. You can continue here. Yeah. Together. Yeah. One important person, Mr. Who is the pembahas kita? Raymond Valian. Is a Dr. Raymond Valian. He is a chairman of the Jasa Tawan. He have many dam project in that area. They have want to discuss with you closely. Please, Mr. Raymond, can you ask something to the?
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity, Pak John Panto, dear presenters and participants, Pak Lawrence, guten Morgen, Pak Andre, buongiorno, nice to meet you all. I have completed my term as a chairman, as the president director of Jasa Tawan Public Corporation, but in the experience of 25 years being in the water sector, especially in dam management, there are some comments that I would like to address in order to strengthen our discussion this morning. Allow me to share the screen if you don't mind. Can you please share a few slides of me? I will make it quick.
Multiple participants. Yeah, multiple participants can share. Oh, okay. Second one.
Mungkin dibagikan aja dari panitia, Pak.
Okay,
ya, cepat.
Yeah, multiple. Just select this one. Okay, now he can share.
Okay, Pak, silakan share.
Okay. Di-share dari panitia aja, Pak. Dari sisinya panitia biar cepat, Pak. Waktunya juga agak terbatas.
Okay.
Jadi, first of all, I would like to remind that sedimentation and dam security are two drivers that are important in managing water resources, especially in Indonesia. In this issue, we could say that we had a lot of potentials in our country, whereas the government has already the plan to construct 61 reservoirs, which among others, 29 are completed by this year. Another issue is that from the 2,200 reservoirs, there are specifically 200 dams, high dams, that has qualified for the standard that is adopted by the International Committee on Large Dams. So in this perspective, we can see that there's a lot of opportunities to implement technology, especially in the robotic area or the artificial intelligence used for machine learning in order to scrutinize the structural damages or structural conditions of a reservoir, of a dam, and also sedimentation. This morning, Voigt has explained to us about the possibilities to implement these technologies. First, there's the possibility to use drones, robots, and everything that is related to close remote sensing in order to find structural defects or specific conditions that's related to the dam infrastructure. I think this is an opportunity for a lot of us to see the perspective that Indonesia will maintain a lot of dams in the next 10 to 20 years. We have completed 29 dams this year, and we will add another 40 dams in the big plan for water sustainability in this country. In this sense, I think Pak John Panto and Joko, we are delighted to be informed about new implementation of the technology in the sector. A few issues arises here. First of all is that technology needs to be calibrated to the Indonesian circumstances. Using robotics in our experience is also related to, for example, when you're working in the water, to turbidity. If you're using the technology to scan infrastructure using laser points, then you need to integrate this with the building infrastructure management system, which I think that Voigt has also developed. But for other purposes like sedimentation, the situation in Indonesia is a little bit complex. Let's go to the fourth slide, please.
This.
Okay, you have the Indonesian context. Okay, let's size this up a bit. Full screen, please.
Full mass.
Okay.
This one. Yeah.
Okay. From this slide, we can see that there are a lot of possibilities to use this technology in Indonesia. But first of all, we have to define actually what are the most important areas that requires this application. For example, if you have the budget for state-owned reservoirs or state-owned dams, then probably each unit pengelolaan Bendungan can make a proposal to use this technology. But there are also private dams. The state-owned electricity company has private dams. Certain smelters like Inalum has or Inco has their own smelters. And these are possibilities where there's a possibility to implement the technology selective-wise. Next slide, please. What we can see now on our screen are the possibilities. 61 high dams, and then 29 are already completed this year. And there's still a lot of dams on our table now. But please remind that these dams also has a long life cycle. So to ensure that, we need also to take care about the planning process, the construction process, and especially the operation and maintenance process. Let's go to the last slide. In my response to what has been presented, I can say that certain defined conditions will involve reservoir management and sediment control. Most reservoirs in Indonesia are in the first quadrant. That means that these reservoirs are constructed with a specific condition where it is not able to be flushed, or it is difficult to be sluiced, or we cannot move easily the sediments from the reservoir over the dam to the lower part of the basin. The first quadrant, we can see that a lot of reservoirs, Cirata, Gedung Ombo, Lahore, Wonogiri, Jatiluhur, which are all over 50 years old, are in the first quadrant with specific conditions that require also specific approaches. I think Voigt can concentrate on these issues. We can see that management of reservoirs requires us to implement technology, and we have to look at the defined conditions of the dam. Most specific high dams in Indonesia are in a specific quadrant, and this will limitate the maintenance and operation circumstances. Alas, 0.5 to 1% of the world reservoir volume is lost from sedimentation annually. And in Indonesia, this number is about twice. I think that's what we can say for the moment being. I think that is the last slide. If I can briefly summarize that there's an opportunity to use the recent technology as a platform to integrate various processes. Our presenters, Voigt, has explained the possibilities, and we can see that there's a lot of opportunity to implement the technology that is now available on plate, piecemeal-wise, for 29 reservoirs that has been completed, but also for other reservoirs, approximately 200 high dams that are now operating in Indonesia. Thank you for the opportunity. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Raymond, thank you very much for your suggestion about that. And I think before you make some answer about Mr. Raymond comment, Mr. Joko, Joko will special door prize to tap.
First one tap and one.
Okay.
Oke, Bapak sekalian, ini ada kesempatan yang baik dari sponsor dari Voigt. Ada 2 door prize, 1 HP dan 1 tab. Kita yang HP dulu, silakan Mas Aridian. Kita pakai aplikasi. Silakan Pak John Panto bisa nanti bilang stop. Silakan Pak John Panto.
Stop, oke. Stop.
Namanya ya nanti ya.
Di Pak John Panto.
Silakan. Putri ada enggak?
Putri ada hadir?
Silakan.
Winner has to give a speech also.
Putri Mitra ada?
Pas dong.
Pas. Lanjut.
Silakan Mas Aridian, kita ulang OB. Silakan. Start.
Oh.
Mudah-mudahan
Petrus kanal hadir. Petrus.
Bapak sekalian.
Ada Petrus?
Pak Petrus?
Ada.
Masih ada tapi
enggak ini.
1, 2, 3.
Pas.
Belum rezeki.
Belum rezekinya. Lanjut. Oh.
Hati.
Insinyur Ramsyah, STIPM. Ada. Ramsyah ada.
Masih ada di monitor.
Ramsyah.
Titik 1, titik 2.
Ada.
Ada Mas.
Oke.
Oke.
Mas Ramsyah, silahkan.
Ramsyah dapat apa ini?
HP.
Oke.
Mas Ramsyah, silahkan.
HP.
Saya pengen komentar Mas Hamzah 1 menit komen kaitannya dengan webinar hari ini.
Mas Hamzah.
Mana Mas Hamzah?
Nah,
Ahmad, bukan
Hamzah.
Ini Rahmat atau Ramsah?
Bukan Rahmat. Silakan Ramsah.
Ada Pak, lagi makan siang Pak.
Iya, apa komentar Bapak? Dari mana Pak? Adikarya ya?
Iya Pak, dari Adikarya.
Construction company. Government construction.
Boleh?
Komentar Pak.
Iya Pak.
Kaitannya kegiatan ini, silakan Mas.
Kegiatan ini Pak ya. Menurut saya Pak, kegiatannya betul-betul luar biasa Pak. Banyak sekali pengetahuan yang baru saya dapatkan Pak dari webinar ini. Terus mengenai apa tadi aku kelewat tadi Pak, sempat lagi makan siang juga Pak tadi. Tadi sebentar makan siang Pak.
Oke, thank you Pak. Selamat siang.
Iya Pak.
Nanti dikirim ya.
Iya Pak. Iya Pak.
Oke, one more Pak.
Silakan Pak Aridian. Satu buah tab yang sudah disiapkan Pak John Panto.
Oke, nanti material nanti akan kita kirim di chat ya. Muhammad Lesti Hantono ada? Tidak ada.
Hadir Pak.
Gimana?
Ya Pak.
Rizky, silakan. Mana dia? Oke.
Hadir Pak.
Ini siapa? Dari mana?
Ya Pak, saya Muhammad Sikantono Pak. Saya mahasiswa dari Universitas Diponegoro Pak, Semarang.
Oke, ada komentar Pak?
Bagus Pak untuk webinar hari ini karena pematerinya juga ada dari internasional dan saya belajar dari banyak kasus-kasus yang ada di dunia ini Pak.
Oke.
Itu aja Pak. Terima kasih Pak.
Oke, nanti kita tolong chat ke panitia untuk dikirimkan kemana.
Baik Pak. Terima kasih Pak.
Ya, oke, Bapak sekalian, kita continue sebentar. Mungkin ini pertanyaannya sangat-sangat banyak ya. Pertanyaannya many question for you, but we have a limited time.
Okay. First, we respond to Mr. Raymond's.
Of course. Okay, you can respond to.
Just I want to say that you can also send us the question.
Oh, you
can answer later.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Raymond, for your speech. Very, very interesting. As I said, we can develop specifically for your needs. What I would require maybe some detailed picture of the kind of structure of the dams you have and what kind of defects on these dams you're looking for. Based on that, we can develop the machine learning for specifically for these applications.
And also, Mr. Raymond, thank you very much from my side. It was a very interesting insights which you shared with us. I mean, the thoughts which it provoked are phenomenal. So we see a potential which you just could share in 4 slides are really something which we didn't expect. And now we see a great potential of going forward and discuss it more in detail with you. So probably we'll find some time to interact more in detail on this.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Your comment, please.
Yes, thank you. I only want to add, thank you for pointing out that we in Indonesia, we have to also adjust to the Indonesian characteristics of nature and market, and that we are totally open to this and we're flexible. We want to go for cooperative projects with you.
Yeah.
And always contact us and let's discuss.
Yeah. Okay. The question, Kira, please.
Ada yang mau nanya dari.
I can stop sharing. Sure.
Yeah, I think that I can relate to what Andrea and Lawrence has just said. Yeah. I will communicate with the fellow staff that is now currently undertaking the reservoirs in the Brantas, Bengawan Solo, and other river basins in Indonesia. Probably you will be able to contact them at the technical level, yeah, and hopefully you will find on something, hopefully. For other reservoirs, I mean, there are 200 high dams in Indonesia currently operating. I think much of them are operated under the Ministry of Public Works and Housing. So I think that it's necessary also to maintain communications with the balai and balai besars that are executing bodies under the Ministry of Public Works and Public Housings in order to achieve a possibility to introduce your technology. Okay, good luck there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe Lawrence, you can.
Yes. So from Pri, next question was if we can always run the system during wet and dry season. So we are always adjusting the system to site. In case of, let's say, very bad weather, maybe, or high waves during a hurricane or whatever, then the system will go into an automated parking position. But usually we can run in during wet and dry season. Doesn't matter. It's always a matter of water. Yeah. So next question. Yeah. From Dian Arif, yeah. Anchor and mooring system. Yes, sure. Yeah, sure. We can. So the fully automated vessel is actually using different kinds of operation. So we can use it using ropes. We can also use it with an autonomous drive. It is GPS controlled, and it's actually run like you can say like a milling machine. Maybe that's a good comparison. So we can make sure it is not interacting with any other asset on the reservoir by making sure that by controlling the path, the automated path that the dredger goes. And for sure, everything, every anchor, every rope, every connection system is engineered very well.
Is from Mr. Arif Pakutungan. I think you are API.
Yeah. There's before not before entering reservoirs, but they usually are systems that are used before entering the penstock, and these are descenders, for example. This is a whole construction project, let's say thematic in civil works. And I have to say that not all of these descenders work. So we also have customers that are interested in systems that, let's say, adjust to a non-working descender. But yeah, there's options also, but these are usually civil options. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is again for you. Sense program. Yeah.
Sense.
I have a question from Iqbal.
Customer criteria accommodate our own guidelines.
So it's basically customization can be done.
Yeah. This customs can be done also on the evaluation. The rating system can be adjusted to the guideline of the local government.
Flexible.
It's flexible. We already have, I think, 6 different guidelines for different governments in Europe that you can using that guideline rating the defects on the structure according to the standards. Yes.
The next question is a combined question. So to my answer, the cost per cubic meter for flushing the sediment is depending on your market, because the cost for flushing is depending on the market price for the kilowatt hour, because you're losing water. When you do flushing, you usually cannot operate the machines. So it always depends on your market. for the cost of sediment removal with our system for sediment care, I can just say it's cheaper than dredging. And then there's the secondly,
for sands, I think we already mentioned it. It depends on the mostly on how many assets you want to inspect, how many dams. I would say we can make a proposal based on a concrete example, because also how big is the dam as an effect, where is the dam, and so on. So please, if you want to have a budget quote, let's give us some information later on.
Yeah. So the next question from Irfan, we can map that. We can do bathymetry for you if you need it. We also, our robot comes with a bathymetry system, but for the risk analysis up front, there's usually a bathymetry needed. Yeah.
You can combine.
Yeah. Okay. For climate change and with this I don't understand the question.
Basically, are there any sustainability goals worldwide for sediment care, and whether our system conforms to those sustainability goals?
Okay, that's a good point. So usually right now, our society only sees the effect of sedimentation reservoirs, which would be declining coastlines. We're losing our river deltas, Mekong River, agriculture is suffering from it. So there's no standard right now. The only standard that is applied is the knowledge of the river, how it was before, for example. And we try to allow the society that is using, or the country that is using the sediment care, to have back the natural sediment balance in the river. And that is the case how it was before. So that's the goal. Yeah.
Raymond has a question.
Actually, not a question, but to complete the discussion. There are various approaches and technology way to handle sedimentation issues or dam safety issues. A few of them has been explained this morning, but we need to keep in mind that handling sediment or construction issues for operation and maintenance of reservoirs and dams requires us to have a set of standards. So the Indonesian standards we must look at the standard. Yeah. Sometimes policy influence. Allow me to say that a few reservoirs has a bottom door to flush the sediment out of the reservoir. But due to special circumstances, environmental considerations, those bottom slices are not operated.
Yes.
I think we can see that in a few reservoirs in Indonesia, specifically in Java. Will not name the reservoirs for ethical purposes, but this policy is actually adding sedimentation to a next level within the reservoir. So hopefully, dredging with the proposal that Voigt had presented to all of you this morning may be a way, combined with other possibilities, to reduce the sediment load that will affect the hydropower generation. For example, to pass through the sediment through the turbine by retrofitting the turbine. That are possibilities that can be explored. Well, that is a specific webinar. Nanti Om Joko yang atur.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
Okay, Raymond, Mr. Raymond.
Thank you.
We have 6 questions again. Okay, continue. I think kita batasi, Bapak Ibu sekalian. Rasa sudah cukup banyak sekali pertanyaannya. Ada 6 lagi. Kita silakan.
Yes. Okay. First question. As I said, we can run the system completely offline. So the cloud solution would only be for the opportunity for the customer to always see the data with his iPhone or with his tablet or whatever, but you can run the system completely offline. So there is no cloud service needed for the system. Second question.
Actually, the similar for Sense, you don't need to have access on premises to have internet. You can have internet on your office. Basically, the drone make the pictures, and then you can download the picture in another location, so you don't need to have internet at the site.
Yeah. So next question is about what is happening with the sediments in the downstream. So as I said, we usually follow the rules and regulations of every state. And the state usually has states usually have people that do know their rivers. That's usually the environmental departments. And they restrict us to a certain sediment concentration in the downstream. And this sediment concentration usually acknowledges the natural case of sediment balance. And if you inject controlled sediment into the penstock that goes into the downstream, then the flow of the downstream river will be enough to transport the sediment in a natural way. So naturally, the river disposes sediment at certain places and picks up sediment at certain places, and we're just going back to the state. For example, when you see declining coastlines in Japan or in North America or in South America, this usually is the case because the river was not able to transport the sediment up until the coast, because there's a reservoir in between. So the flow velocity is always enough to transport the amount of sediments that we inject. From Adowibu, does the tool work? Yes. So we can supply. We use this. The standard for this product is it's an electrical dredger. So as we are in a reservoir, as we are usually in close to a facility that produces electric energy, we can run the dredger off of that directly.
Or maybe use a DJCK.
Or we use that, right? Or we use that. Also, these dredgers are available for a diesel generator, but we don't like to use this solution because then we're imposing a risk to the reservoir and water. So, but it's all is available, all is possible. And compacted sediment is used by adjusting the dredger in a way that we use grinders also in the dredger that can mobilize the sediment even if it's compacted before we pump it.
The other one, I think it's for me.
Yeah, that's for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot answer this question. That's I cannot disclose.
Okay. Okay, continue. Tidu. Lawrence. Sample from.
Oh, how much cheaper? That's a good question. This is always depending on what customers we see. So some customers already own, for example, equipment to do these jobs. We can integrate their equipment. Then there's also customers that don't have anything, so we supply most of the stuff to the customer. And then also depending on your sediment, of what kind of sediment we have, we, for example, come from a region with very hard sediments. Our colleagues in India and China are also facing very hard sediments. And based on your sample, on the sediment sample, I can give you an exact price based on the specifics of your hydropower station. I can give you an exact price. Me naming that we're cheaper than conventional dredging is actually me stating this because we want to be. And this is how we do it. All right? So
why we develop this solution.
And this is why we develop this solution, to be cheaper than that, because we see customers that pay very much for dumping, for dredging, for transport, for all of these matters, even though the sediment belongs into the river. It is part of the river and it should stay there. Sediment, yeah. So the last, we do have experience. The last question would be, do you have any experience the limitation of sediment concentration? Actually, the concentration, the sediment concentration is always based on what kind of sediment you use or that you have. And we will always, basis in our risk assessment, adjust what we do to the turbine based on what kind of sediment you have. So the main drivers are grain size, flow velocity, sharpness of the corn, hardness of the grain. These are the angle on how the grain hits the surface. These are the parameters. So you see it's a multi-parameter system, but we can calculate that with CFD using our laboratory testing to make sure that the turbine is safe in any case, and that we can run with a concentration that allows us to empty the reservoir as fast as possible. Okay.
Okay, I think, thank you very much from Vero.
For sure.
Rona and Lawrence,
yes.
For that, and Mr. Abhishek. Saya rasa Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, maaf sekali banyak sekali pertanyaan yang belum terjawab. Tapi kita sudah menikmati apa yang hari ini kita diskusikan. Kita sudah mengetahui sedikit mengenai bagaimana antisipasi sedimentasi di waduk, kemudian bagaimana memanfaatkan artificial intelligence. Jadi ini adalah pemahaman baru, dan saya rasa masalah sedimen ini perlu semua pihak fokus kepada ini, karena akan terjadi permasalahan besar ke depan kalau sedimentasi ini tidak diselesaikan atau tidak difokuskan oleh semua pemilik bendungan. Jadi mohon semua pemilik bendungan fokus untuk how to anticipate the sedimentation, because the catchment area we must thinking about that. We must point they have some anticipate about the sedimentation, about the use the artificial intelligence. I think this discussion already very good information for ICOL member, for Indonesian Committee of Cluster member. I think thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank
you.
Lawrence,
Thank you for having us.
And for Mr. Raymond, thank you very much, Mr. Raymond. And before we close, we have 2 more door prize.
Yeah.
Please, Mr. Joko.
Raymond, Pak Raymond sama Pak John Panto, kita kasih tepuk tangan dulu buat presenter hari ini. Bapak sekalian, ini masih ada 2 door prize, tapi ini agak berbeda. Yang HP Pak Abhishek, so many question. Please choose best question. HP-nya dulu aja, Pak. Bapak sekalian, tadi kan banyak pertanyaan nih. Ini akan dipilih sama Mr. Abhishek pertanyaan yang best. Best one. Please choose one.
I would say the question online, offline. Can we run it off?
Tunggu sebentar, ini kayaknya masih harus pleno dulu untuk memastikan pertanyaan yang paling bagus untuk mendapat sebuah HP.
The one which said we have 5 dams and we would like to have more proposal.
Yes, one and the other one offline.
Yeah. Was it? So there was the one question. No, go down, please. There, go down. Go down. There was stop. Not so fast. There was one question for the offline use. What can we run sediment care offline? Yeah, we can. Can you go up? Or you use for cloud service? I think cloud was part of the question.
Dan diharapkan teman-teman yang
this one, Indra.
Yeah, from Indra. So this is a winner. This is the winner. Yeah.
Oke, Mas Indra, ini dipastikan best question. Mas Indra masih?
Iya Pak, masih Pak.
Indra Kurniawan.
Iya Pak.
Oke, bisa bicara sedikit? Dari mana Indra Kurniawan?
Saya sebetulnya ini lagi ada riset di bidang ini Pak, dari SGO, dan memang permasalahannya di dam-dam di Indonesia itu permasalahannya tidak ada internet gitu Pak.
Ada komen lagi, satu lagi Mas Indra.
Ya, komentarnya tentang webinar ini sangat baik sekali Pak, dan jadi menambah wawasan bahwa pemrosesan menggunakan AI itu bisa dilakukan gitu Pak.
Oke, terima kasih Mas Indra. Tolong nanti chat ke alamat ya, ke panitia. Dan Bapak sekalian, hari ini memang ini pemanasan, yang mana kita webinar dengan free. Nanti kita pada tanggal 25 juga kita akan adakan webinar internasional kaitannya dengan concrete face rockfill dam. Yang mana juga karena ini sudah dipanasi dengan free, diharapkan nanti pada tanggal 25 kita kasih bonus dengan pembiayaan yang cukup murah meriah.
Concrete face
rockfill dam. Bapak sekalian, masih ada door prize 1 buah tab. Kalau ini kita pakai computerized. Silakan Mas Panitia, Mas Aridian, Pak John Panto bisa Mr. Abhishek, please to inform to start and stop.
Okay, please start. Okay,
Just a minute.
Okay, start. Stop.
Teknik Jayanto masih ada?
Teknik 1, teknik 2. No? No. Someone is pinging.
Oh yeah.
Is Mr. Axel there? No? Maybe we do again. Okay.
Okay.
Start. Stop.
Ini dari DJCK ya?
Ya, LPJK atau Intakindo.
Ini kayaknya
siap, terima kasih. Siap, Pak John dan teman-teman.
Ini Pak Sigit kayaknya janjian sama Pak John ini. Pak, silakan Pak Sigit, ada yang mau disampaikan Pak John apa?
Silakan Pak Sigit.
Paloh, Nasdem.
Ya, terima kasih. Terima kasih, ini webinar bagus sekali. Saya tadi sedikit melihat chatnya Pak Raymond Valian ya. Ini saya mau jawab, bukan mau jawab, tapi mau diskus untuk Story Dam Bali ini. Story Dam di Nusa Penida itu kan hulunya perkampungan ya, artinya pematus begitu. Ini sangat bagus mungkin kalau dengan dengan menggunakan metode ini akan sangat bagus mungkin ya. Ditambahkan dengan BIM ya, Building Information Modeling macam begitu Pak John.
Oke,
itu ini mudah-mudahan bisa berkembang lebih mantap ini untuk penanganan sedimen di estuary dam ini khususnya. Terima kasih.
Oke, terima kasih Mas Sigit.
Ya. Terima kasih.
Untuk materi sudah saya masukkan di chat. Untuk materi dari Dr. Raymond akan dimasukkan di chat juga.
Oke, terima kasih Bapak sekalian. Masih ada satu season yang tidak kalah pentingnya, kita adalah foto bersama. Take picture.
Yeah. Everyone together, ya.
Silakan Mas Aridian untuk di full. Dan sampai saat ini masih ada 300 peserta yang bersama kita. Kita dengan angkat tangan ya. Oke, angkat tangan. Kita mulai. Bisa on kamera. Bapak Ibu sekalian. 1. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. Lagi slide berikutnya, kita ada 20 slide ini katanya. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ya, terima kasih. Bapak sekalian, dan dari Poit yang sudah mensponsori dan mengagendakan pada siang hari ini. Kita kerjasama dengan Balai Teknik Bendungan dan KNI Bibir mengucapkan terima kasih. Kita kasih tepuk tangan buat kita semua. Kita akhiri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kita mengucapkan pagi-pagi happy. Pagi-pagi happy. Pagi-pagi happy.
Sukses Pak Joko.
Pagi happy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sukses Pak Joko.
Thank you.
Ya.
Thank you so much.
Pagi
happy.
Halo Pak Joko.
Makasih Pak John.
Pak Lawrence juga. Pak Lawrence juga
Thank you very much. If I may.
Pak John juga ketemu di kelasnya Pak John.
Selamat juga yang dapat
umroh.
Bukan dapat umroh. Dapat HP.
Thank you Pak Ilham Abadi.
Tanggal 25 nanti baru dapat umroh.
Selesai. Wah, komplit.
Pak Joko, selamat Pak Joko. Sukses selalu.
Komplit sip.
Ya, terima kasih. Atas nama Pak Joko.
Belum kita mantan nih kok. Bukan kata-kata. Iya. Tulangin sih, paling itu. Ayo ke turun. Bukan. Wah. Ini loh sayurnya. Onlet. Jadi ini karena Pak UPB ini dengan bendungan.
Setengah dua sekarang. Sudah setengah dua Indonesia Timur nih.
Ayo sarapan. Nah,
there is a lot of potential, and we have to take it forward from here. Yeah, sure.
oh, it's not this.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You can grab something on the export.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tapi ada kan?
Saya
Recording stopped.